Hi, my name is Yvonne Wells, and I'm at Kentuck for the Good Trouble exhibition that we will have later on this year. I can tell you about the piece, not the pieces this time, that I brought. It's entitled Portrait of a King, and it's one of three that I had made with the same title. And it's a piece that shows where the fight that we had back in the 60s and 70s of Martin Luther King and marching around him, which at that time they were marching with him, but I had to show it in that way for the quilt. It shows them marching peacefully without any fight, without any riot from the marchers, but it was from the outsiders who decided to come in and make a disturbance of peacefulness. And it also shows other aspects of the 60s movement, like the death of Viola Liuzzo, who was killed on her way to Montgomery at that time. It also shows where the marchers were used as, a water hose, because firemen used the hose to spray the water on the marchers at that time. Also, there was a gentleman who used the big black dog to bite the marchers as they were marching around. Well, at that time, can I remember? Well, the experience was always out there because that was my era of working and teaching school. And there were many events that were going on at the time. However, I was not one to be a physical participant, but I thought I had the responsibility as a teacher to teach in the classroom and go over the things that a lot of people were not participating in. But I wanted my students and whoever would ask about what was going on, that I could relay the message truthfully. A lot of things were factually done, and I had read and I had spoken, and then I had seen this on TV. A lot of it was memory, and a lot of it was how I felt about what was happening as a folk artist. It dawns on a lot of people that I didn't say exactly what was said, but in my mind, as an artist, it was all correct. And therefore, I think it is extremely important for me to go with my work so I could explain to them what this T was and what it meant and what this ball meant and that kind of thing. So that's where the storytelling came in after I had to go with my work. How does it impact? A lot of, as I have said before, a lot of things I can see without it being there. I can feel without it being there. I can handle stuff that a lot of people think is just garbage. So being Black in the South is just like being Black any place else. But you have, or may have, a certain feel about a certain subject or incident that may have happened, which gives you the opportunity to express it your way. I begun in 1979, and my inspiration comes from many places. As I have said before, that I'm a school teacher and I have students who say stuff and I want to come home and make what they said. I read, and then I watch TV, and then again I just do it because that is what I'm seeing. It comes from the head, heart, and hand. So inspiration can come from any place. Well, I think that's very important. You see, it hasn't left yet. Back in the early 50s, 60s, and 70s, you can look at today. It's basically the same kind of protest as it was back then. I know John Lewis would say, when you protest, get in good trouble. And that's what he did. Back then, I think it was good trouble as well because we were nonviolent at that time. And now there may be people who are violent, but the trouble that he was talking about made a change. This piece that I made may add to the fight for justice because it showed what happened then. It showed like the people who now are fighting for justice, only it was in a different kind of setting at that time, nonviolent to violence. But everybody was seeking for a change, but not some in the good way and some was in the good